Hi there, I'm Danny Flexen, Content Director for Seconds Out, our sister channel, and a veteran of over 10 years in the boxing industry in some form or another. Quite obviously not as an active fighter, I think you'll agree. This is the start of a new weekly segment. It will come out every Wednesday, where I round up some of the boxing actions come at the weekend and end with some tips that you might want to look into in terms of making the most of your money. Not a lot of action going on this weekend, so maybe not the best week to launch, but we're here now and let's go for it. There's a show in Katowice in Poland that's rather intriguing. One of the biggest fights on there sees Martin Bakole, a name that will be familiar to UK viewers, going up against Mariusz Wach at heavyweight. Bakole's an interesting story. He's descended from Congolese royalty, but gave up the advantages of his birthright. First to travel to South Africa, then Preston, then Greengair's sleepy village in Airdrie in Scotland to train under Billy Nelson, who's also his manager. Bakole's also the brother of Ilunga Makabu, who memorably lost by a highlight reel knockout to Tony Bellew for the WBC Cruiserweight title a few years ago. Bakole's very talented, there's no question about that. He can punch, he's agile for his size, he moves well, but he was exposed to an extent in his first real step up last year when he was stopped by American Michael Hunter. Before that, he'd only completed 18 rounds, and although he looked impressive in several eye-catching knockouts, he found that his lack of experience and his lack of speed, to an extent, was exposed against Hunter. He's trying to come back from that by taking a bold step of going out to Katowice in Poland to challenge local hero Mariusz Wach, a former world title challenger who's probably slightly past his prime. He's lost his last two, one by stoppage to Jarrell Miller, and the most recent, a contentious decision loss to countryman Artur Szpilka. So both men have got something to prove, but it's hard to go against a hometown fighter in Poland, especially one as decorated as Wach. That said, Bakole has got a shot, and I think he's available to win by a knockout or stoppage at 5-2. You might think that seems unlikely against a bigger man, but he's certainly not going to get, or it's very unlikely I should say, to get the decision over Wach out in Poland. So if you fancy Bakole to win, it's worth taking the 5-2 on offer for a points win. That said, my top tip for the boxing in Katowice at the weekend is one of the other fights. It sees Dmitry Chudinov, someone who's known over here for defeat to Chris Eubank Jr. He's had quite a mixed career since then. He's been found out at a higher level. But he's going up against another local guy in Robert, let's see if I can get this right, Chrzanowski or Charvachevsky. One of the two, but it doesn't matter how we pronounce his name. He's a really hot prospect. He's looked really good against a certain level of opposition. Chudinov's not expected to win, and I don't think he will, but he has fought a better level of opponent. Not only that, he's very durable. He's only ever been stopped in his defeats by Eubank, and that was in the 12th and final round of a very gruelling fight. I was actually ringside for that one. He took a real pounding, but stood up to it really well, and it was more of a mercy stoppage at the end than anything else. This one's only a 10-rounder according to BoxRec rather than a 12, and I would expect Chudinov to know enough to go the distance. If he does, that's available at the moment on Bet365 at 14-5, which is almost 4-1. So you're still betting on the right guy to win, but by the method most likely to achieve it. I'll certainly be going and having a punt on that. I'm not promising it's guaranteed. He could get him out of there, especially at home, you know, might get a referee jumping a bit too early, but Chudinov's known for durability. He can take a shot, he knows how to look after himself. So I would go definitely the big odds on him lasting the distance only to lose a wide decision. We'll be back next Wednesday, but leave your comments below, any boxing tips you've got or any questions you've got. It'd be great to hear from you, and we'll get back to the best ones. We'll be back next Wednesday for the next edition. Thank you.